SBA Publications.
Hello dear students, how are you all? This is your mentor Vedika and the topic we are going to start today is sentences. So, जैसा कि आपने previous class में भी sentences के बारे में पढ़ा ही होगा that sentences are a group of words that is placed in a order that makes a complete sense. And you have also read that there are two parts of a sentence, which is subject and predicate. So, for this topic, we are going to read a little further. So, let's start. First, you should know that a sentence will always begin with a capital letter and it will either end in a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. And as I have told you, it has a subject and a predicate as its parts. So let's start reading. A sentence is a group of words that are kept in a particular order to make a complete sense. एक ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स जिनको एक ऐसे ऑर्डर में रखा जाए जिससे कि उसका कुछ मीनिंग बने, जिससे हमें कुछ समझ में आए. ओके? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इंडिया वन द मैच yesterday. कल इंडिया मैच जीत गई. एंड what if I change the order of the sentence? One match the India yesterday. Will it make any sense to you? No, right? So here we have arranged the words in a particular order so that it will make a sentence that makes a complete sense to us, that we are able to understand properly. So let's move forward to the parts of sentences. As I have told you earlier, there are two parts of a sentence, which is subject and predicate. So let's see what a subject is. In a sentence, the person, place, thing or idea that we speak about is called the subject. किसी person, किसी place या किसी thing जिसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं, that is called a subject. Let's see some examples that are the captain receives the trophy. So who has received the trophy here is the subject. The captain is the subject here. Delhi is the capital of India. So which state or which part of India is the capital? That is Delhi. So we are talking about Delhi here. So that will be our subject. Next is how funny she is. How funny she is. Who is funny here? She. We are talking about a girl. So she will be the subject. What are you doing? So here, who are we talking to? And who are we talking about? You. So you will be the subject here. So the words in color are subjects, as you have already seen. Normally the subject comes before the verb. Okay. So the subject will normally come before the verb. As we have seen in the beginning of the sentences, here these two sentences, they have their first words as the subject and they are the verb is coming after them. So the subject is normally before the verb, but when we convert a sentence into interrogative or when we are given interrogative sentences, the subject will be before the helping verb, right? After the helping verb, okay? And here this one is an exclamatory sentence which we will read about in the further explanation. Let's move forward to predicate. So what are predicates? Let's see. So what we are talking about the subject. Subject के बारे में हम जो बात कर रहे हैं वो predicate होता है. पहले हमने देखा कि जिसके बारे में सेंटेंस में बात हो रही है वो सब्जेक्ट है, पर क्या बात हो रही है, वो जो बात है वही हमारा predicate होता है. What we say about the subject in a sentence is called the predicate. Okay? For example, cell phones have become a necessity. So subject is cell phones, that we have seen already because we are talking about cell phones, but have become a necessity. This is what we are talking about the subject. So this is the predicate. हमने क्या बात करी है सेल फोन्स के बारे में कि वो एक जरूरत बन चुके हैं, तो वो एक जरूरत बन चुके हैं is the predicate. Lions roar. Now we can see that this is a very small sentence, right? But here it makes a complete sense to us. Lions is the subject because we are talking about lions, and what they do, what we are talking about them is they roar. So the roar will be the predicate. The clouds are thundering. So here clouds is the subject, and what are they doing or what is happening there? They are thundering. Honesty pays in the long run. So here this is our predicate. So let's move forward to elements of a predicate. In the previous class you have read about only subject and predicate. Now we will be reading about elements of predicate. A predicate must have a finite verb. एक predicate की finite verb ही होगी. Infinite verbs यानी कि to be form की verbs हम उसमें use नहीं करेंगे. For example, dog barks. Dogs क्या करते हैं? Bark करते हैं. So here, I hope you know the difference between finite and infinite verbs. So finite verbs, they show us the tense of the sentence. Like either it is in present, in past or in future. Okay. So these are the finite verbs that we are using. Dog barks. भौंकते हैं, right? So now next is water is running out. Now running out is also a finite verb. A predicate may have an object. For example, Nupur is playing a video game. So about this we have also read in the previous class, right? That a predicate may have an object also. Predicate में object भी involve हो सकता है. The assembly discussed the issue. Now here this is the object. A predicate may have a complement. For example, she is a teacher. Now a teacher is a complement, or we can say an adjective. The hero is handsome. This is also a complement, that we are praising the hero for his looks, that he is handsome. Now a predicate may also have an adverb. Predicate में adverb भी हो सकती है. For example, the child is crying loudly. So loudly is the adverb here. They treated us nicely. How they treated us? Nicely, which is the adverb here. Now it can also have an adverb phrase. Now let's see what is that. My uncle lives in New York. My uncle lives in where? New York. Or this is an adverb phrase. Or next we have the meeting will take place next week. Now this is also adverb phrase. Let's move forward. Now we have the types of sentences. As you have also read in the previous class, a sentence have 5 types. Now let's see what are these. First is declarative or assertive sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence and optative sentence. Now declarative sentence. Sentences that state something are called declarative sentence. वो sentence जो कोई statement बनाते हैं, जो कुछ state करते हैं, कुछ बताते हैं, वो क्या होते हैं? Declarative sentences. For example, my name is Rahul. These sentences are telling that my name is Rahul. Sushant is my brother. This is also a statement. He left home at the age of 16. He left home at the age of 16. She hasn't come back ever since. So these are the statements. These are the declarations. Now, all of these sentences, they are making a statement which I have already told you. This is why they are all called declarative sentences. Now, declarative sentences which are making positive statement are called affirmative sentences. जो positive statement बनाते हैं वो affirmative होते हैं, और जो नेगेटिव स्टेटमेंट बनाते हैं वो नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस होते हैं. And a declarative sentence will always end with a full stop. You should know this thing that a declarative sentence will always end with a full stop. Now, जो कि हमने अपने previous examples में देखा कि जो ऊपर सारे sentences हैं, these are affirmative sentences, but the last one is making a negative statement, so this is a negative sentence. She hasn't come back ever since. There is a negative statement, which is why this is a negative sentence. Next type we have is imperative sentences. Now, these are the sentences that are used to give instructions or orders or request or an offer, even an advice, warning, etc. So these sentences are called imperative sentences. For example, please pass me the paper. This is a request. So someone is asking that please pass me the paper. So please is used here. When we are using please, which shows that we are requesting someone. Next is consult a doctor immediately. This is an advice. Consult a doctor immediately. Close the window. This is an order or an instruction. Close the window. If I had added a please to it, it would have been a request. Now, all these sentences are imperative sentences. So, let's see which are the points that you have to keep in your mind. These examples, they begin with a verb and not with the subject. Now, as we can see, these examples are beginning with a verb. Please, pass, consult and close. These are the verbs, right? And they do not start with a subject. All imperative sentences have an implicit subject, namely you. Now, they do not have a definite subject, but an implicit one or an hidden one, which just simply shows that they are for the subject you. Okay? In polite request, we begin with please followed by the verb. But when we are requesting or being nice or polite, the sentence will begin with please and not with the verb. Next we have interrogative sentences. Now these sentences are used to ask questions. You have to keep just this thing in mind, that they are used to ask questions. For example, now as in the previous class you have also read that in the interrogative sentences, the sentence will start with the helping verb and not with the subject. I am 12 years old. This is a declarative sentence, right? But when we convert it into interrogative, it will become, are you 12 years old? So here we have placed the helping verb first and the subject follows it. Now, or it can also start with the WH family. For example, how old are you? In all these sentences, we are talking about the age of the subject, right? Okay, next sentence is Sonakshi has gone home. Now, Sonakshi has gone home is a declarative sentence. But when we convert it into interrogative, the auxiliary verb or the helping verb will come first and the subject will follow it. Has Sonakshi gone home? Or where has Sonakshi gone? I hope this is clear to you all. Now, in interrogative sentences, the auxiliary verb is placed before the subject. This is the only thing that you have to keep in your mind, that the helping verb or the auxiliary verb will be placed before the subject. Now, let's see some questioning tags. Sometimes we attach a short question to a statement when we speak. तो आपने कभी देखा होगा कि इवन हिंदी में भी हम ऐसा करते हैं. For example, you are good at mathematics, aren't you? तुम मैथ्स में अच्छे हो, है ना? The only difference is in हिंदी हम कहते हैं है ना या फिर नहीं, and in English we just add a small question mark here or a small negative question mark here to stress the subject sentence. You are good at mathematics, aren't you? Ritu wasn't feeling well, was she? So if the sentence is negative, this short question will be positive. If the sentence is positive, this small question will be in the negative form. I hope you are able to understand. The short question, aren't you, in sentence first is used to check whether the statement you are good at mathematics is true or not. So these questions are used to confirm something or to check whether the statement you are making is correct or not, or just an idea of yours. The short question was she in sentence 2 is used to seek the agreement of the listener. So it is used for whether we are confirming something or whether we are waiting for the agreement of someone. Like in Hindi we say hai na, then we wait for the second person's answer. Now short questions tagged at the end of statements are called question tags. So these short questions that we add in the end of the sentence are called question tags. Next, the statement in the first sentence is affirmative and small question attached to it is negative. As I have told you, the statement is positive but the short question is negative. And same goes with the second one. The statement is negative but the question added is positive. It's right the opposite. Right? The auxiliary verb used for the statement and the question tag is the same. The auxiliary verb is the same. Right? As you have seen here. Here are is being used here also. And in the second sentence हमने was का use किया है and for the question also हमने was का use किया है. And the tense of the verb in the statement and the tag is also the same. The tense will also be the same. Next, let's move to exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence help us communicate feelings of surprise, admiration, appreciation, wonder and shock. तो exclamatory sentence हमें help करते हैं to communicate our feelings either of happiness, of surprise, of admiration. हम किसी चीज़ को पसंद करते हैं, admire करते हैं, किसी चीज़ से हम खुश हो जाते हैं या किसी चीज़ से हम हैरान हो जाते हैं या फिर डर जाते हैं. तो ये एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए हमारी हेल्प एक्सक्लेमेटरी सेंटेंसेस करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, what a lovely painting it is. What a lovely painting it is. It is showing the admiration, right? If I was to make a statement out of it, I would have just said it is a lovely painting. It would have been a declarative sentence. But I have to show my feelings for it, that I admire the picture, I admire the painting. So I will say what a lovely painting it is. So we will add the complement first, then the subject and the verb. So this is what we do in exclamatory sentence, but in declarative sentence we will just say it is a lovely painting. We will add the complement in the end. But in exclamatory sentence we are adding the complement in the beginning of the sentence. Sentence की शुरुआत में ही हम पहले complement का use करते हैं. कहाँ? Exclamatory sentence में. जबकि declarative sentence में हम उसका use last में करते हैं. How beautiful the earth is. So here also we have used complement first and the subject later. And if it was a declarative sentence, we would have said the earth is beautiful. The complement will be in the end. Now, let's move forward to optative sentences. So, these are the sentences that express your prayers, keen wishes, curses, etc. तो ये वो sentences हैं जो आपकी prayers को, प्रार्थनाओं को, आपकी wishes को और आपके curses को, या फिर अगर आप कह सकते हैं आपके अंदर से किसी के लिए कुछ गलत फीलिंग निकल के आ रही है, उनको एक्सप्रेस करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मे यू लिव लॉन्ग. तो जब हम किसी के लिए लंबी उम्र की दुआ करते हैं, लंबी उम्र की प्रार्थना करते हैं, तब हम कहते हैं मे यू लिव लॉन्ग. सो दिस इज अ प्रेयर. इवन ऑन द बर्थडेज वी से मे गॉड ब्लेस यू, राइट? सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ प्रेयर और अ विश. ओ दैट आई वर अ विनर. Wish you a very successful married life. All these are either wishes, prayers, right? So, these sentences, these optative sentences, they generally start with may and wish. Sometimes may is hidden, like we just say, God bless you. The may is hidden here, right? So, let's quickly move forward, and here we have our exercises. So, I hope the explanation is clear to you all, and with the help of that, you will be able to do the exercises. And if you are not able to do so, just go through the video once again and you will easily complete the exercises. I hope you have learnt a lot in the video and you have enjoyed it. Let's see you in the next video. Bye-bye.